If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
News Channel 8's Lenny Supal was in court for that hearing today. She joins us live tonight with more details. Lenny.
Good evening, Keith. Well, for the first time, detectives shared very detailed evidence in the case, showing a horrifying picture of the rapper's car shot 31 times as he rolled into a hotel parking lot near USF. Prosecutors say that Julio Foolio was the target of a carefully calculated plan, but tonight, defense attorneys shedding light on a different side of the case. Tonight, a closer look at the birthday celebration that ended in the brutal death of a Jacksonville rapper. Charles Jones, known as Julio Foolio, was shot and killed in the parking lot of a Tampa hotel back in June. Today, 3 people charged with his murder in court. All 3 are from Jacksonville, and evidence shows all 3 were in Tampa the same night Julio Foolio was killed.
3 gunmen can be seen on video coming from where the Impala was parked, and they approached the victim's position on foot and began shooting at him.
Prosecutors say the shooting was gang-related and the suspects were on a mission to kill.
You see them carrying a bag large enough to what? Carry 2 AK-style rifles. That was the whole intention of this trip to Tampa. They came heavily armed.
Investigators believe the suspects followed the rapper's social media posts to locate him, their cell phone activity matching his exact path from various clubs to his hotel, but defense attorneys disputing that claim.
His phone was in a car that was tracked at these different places, but yet my client was never seen getting in and out of that car and was never identified as a person who was the shooter.
Julio Foolio's family was also inside the courtroom today. They were quiet when the hearing wrapped up, but you could see the pain in their eyes, especially because there's another suspect, Davion Murphy, who is also on the run. Police say he's considered armed and dangerous. Reporting live in Tampa, Lenny Supal, 8 on your side.
Pool party start the day at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. The pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock. DM me for the address or DM Foolio booking ESPN. I'm gonna put it right here. Got me drinking, cuz. I don't even drink, cuz. Hold on.
You supposed to have a chaser.
We came deep and fuck for my birthday, man. Everybody coming out the stairs. No cap, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We deep as hell. We deep as hell. 20 deep. Lit everywhere we go.
You mention 8, you mention Bill, you mention me, that's perfect dime. In it wide spot of ops, I art this chop that's rapid fire. Ain't tryna doubt no nigga up, I'm too quick to clap you down. I smush your art then skip town. Why China that Draco break him down? Ain't kill shit, boy, you a liar. I'm so quick to open fire. When we slide on the rifles, when I camp, I don't get tired. I be at your shit for hours. We fill them up and screaming louder. Call me Kenny Michael Myers, but your bitch, she call me dad. She's
hearing new details in the murder trial of Alicia Andrews. Prosecutors say she helped plan and carry out the ambush that killed Jacksonville rapper Julio Foolio during his birthday trip to Tampa last summer. News Channel 8's George MacArthur joins us from the Hillsborough County Courthouse. Georgia.
Stacey, and prosecutors really painted Andrews as a key player in what they're calling a coordinated attack using her car and her cell phone data and her actions. They say tie her directly to Tampa, but her defense attorneys say this just proves that she was here, not what she knew. Prosecutors say 22-year-old Alicia Andrews wasn't just in Tampa that night. They say she helped plan a calculated ambush that ended the life of Jacksonville rapper Charles Jones, known by his fans as Julio Foolio.
She's sending that on the Friday night. Hey, could I book a B&B in Tampa?
Prosecutors say that message kicked off the logistics of a deadly plan. From there, investigators tracked her phone, pinging off towers as she and her boyfriend drove from Jacksonville.
Their cell phones are tracking, hitting cell towers as they travel in unison all the way down I-75 coming across from Jacksonville and heading directly into Tampa.
Hours before the shooting, prosecutors say her phone left the Airbnb, then pinged near the hotel where Foolio was gunned down by 4 other men.
The defendant's phone, 904-405-6748. This is a tower hit at 4:40 at the murder scene. She identifies herself as being in that Chevy Cruze.
But her defense attorneys say those pings don't prove intent, claiming Andrews was in Tampa to spend time with her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, another co-defendant in the case.
Because Alicia Andrews asked for 2 rooms for this romantic getaway, as he claims it to be, was some indication that she intended for this other group of guys to come to the Airbnb with them.
And prosecutors say this case is expected to last at least a week, and they will be showing surveillance video and really narrowing down on that cell phone data. However, defense attorneys are standing their grounds and saying that Andrews was here for love and not violence. But if she is found guilty, she will face life in prison. Reporting live in Tampa, I'm Georgia MacArthur, 8 on your side.
Now, we must understand something, y'all. Alicia Andrews is charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. So I believe we really need to get an understanding as to conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. And the reason why we need to get an understanding about that is because a lot of people are under the impression that she's charged with first-degree murder. And they believe that being that she's charged with first-degree murder, or believe that she's charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, they believe that the prosecution must prove that Alicia ran up on Julio, pulled out a gun and shot him in the head point-blank range. Or if she didn't do that, she had to have been one of the 3 men that had the gun and was shooting at him and actually killed him. A lot of people believe that, but that doesn't know. No, that's not conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Just to break it down to y'all, just simple. Conspiracy is something like this, and y'all need to be aware of this, because you can find yourself in a conspiracy when you're really not even trying to kill somebody. That's the cold-blooded part. And what I mean is this right here. Let's say one of your family members get into it with somebody. They know you got a gun. And they run towards you and they say, hey, man, give me the gun, man. They just jumped me over here. Hey, man, give me the gun. I just caught my baby mama cheating. I'm finna go kill something. And you say, here you go. Give them the gun, and then they run off and go kill something. And the prosecution can prove that they got that gun from you to go kill somebody. Then you just committed conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. And that's what's going on with her. So let's get an understanding as to what the prosecution have to prove in order to convict her of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Check it out. Agreement. There must be a mutual agreement to commit murder, though it does not have to be a verbal agreement. The agreement can be proven through circumstantial evidence. Cold-blooded demonstration. So you mean to tell me you ain't even got to verbally agree to commit to murder somebody to be charged with conspiracy to commit murder? So what that tells us is this right here. Even though Alicia is saying that she didn't know what was going on, she said she was just on a vacation trip with her boyfriend. However, everything that she is doing is a non-verbal agreement to kill Julio Foolio. Letting her boyfriend use her phone, that's a non-verbal agreement. Using other things to disguise their identities is another way of agreement. You see, taking a trip all the way down to Tampa, you know, that's another form of agreement. So she got an uphill battle. Now let's move on. Overt act. In many cases, the state must also prove that an overt act was taken in furtherance of the conspiracy, such as providing a weapon or planning the logistics. However, for conspiracy to commit murder, the agreement itself coupled with the intent is often sufficient, though an overt act strengthens the case. I see overt acts all over the place. I'm talking about when it come down to everything that she participated in, and this is just me, y'all. I see overt acts all over the place. Moving on. Intent. The defendant must have the specific intent that the murder be completed. Again, they hitting on that right there, because we got to look at it like this here. She already said that she don't like Julio Foolio. She want Julio Foolio dead. And she's letting people use her car, her phone, and trying to disguise her identity. Man, it's not looking good for the young lady. Moving on. Crime can be incomplete. A person can be charged with conspiracy to commit murder even if the murder itself is never carried out. Now, come on now. Y'all got to change these laws. Like, damn. So I can be charged with conspiracy to commit murder and ain't nobody even die? That's why we got to be careful, y'all. We got to be real careful when we out here demonstrating in the law, demonstrating in the criminal mentality. Because look at how these laws are set up. This is too easy to charge somebody. Moving on. Penalties. Conspiracy to commit first-degree murder is a very serious charge and can result in life in prison. The penalty for conspiracy is generally one level below the crime itself, meaning the penalties for conspiracy to commit murder can be severe. Come on now. So in other words, they saying that even if you ain't did nothing as far as commit the actual murder, the penalty that you will receive for conspiracy to commit murder is the same as you committed first degree murder. Y'all see what I'm saying? So now let's look at all the evidence that has been revealed to us to see if the prosecution is proving this conspiracy to commit first degree murder. Now, according to the prosecution, they saying that she was on her Instagram trying to book the Airbnb. And actually, she is the one that set it up so that her and the accused killers can get the Airbnb. Check it out.
Now, Miss Andrews, the defendant, sitting right over here at counsel's table, this is a message that she sends, and you see on the top there, oh, that's red. That is her Instagram account. You will find that. You can see on the top right, her registered email to that account, verified Alicia Andrews 72 at yahoo.com. She sends that this message on June 21st, that's Friday, at 10:52 UTC. That's early morning the 22nd, or earlier that day, sorry. UTC, if you're not aware of that, is Universal Time Code. It's Greenwich Mean Time. So you got to back up 4 hours. So she's sending that on the Friday night. Hey, could I book a B&B in Tampa? This is 2 days before the murder. To a Kiera Axe Marie. Hey, what's dates you need? Tomorrow, but what day do you have available? How many bedrooms? Like 2.
But not only that, though, we got to look at it, because these guys traveled all the way from Jacksonville. You see what I'm saying? So being that they traveled from Jacksonville and now they got a place to go to lay their head at and to prepare for the killing, this type of stuff is conspiracy. And not only that, is logistics. You see what I'm saying? She putting them in position, right? He's in Tampa. I'm going to get a spot for y'all to be in Tampa. But then her logistics go further than that. So that's just a part of it, right? I mean, and they have a thing called accumulation of evidence, corroborating evidence, a preponderance of the evidence, and circumstantial evidence, and that's when the prosecution just grab all type of little breadcrumbs. They just grab all type of stuff, and then they just all put it together so that it can be something solid. You see what I'm saying? And that's what they doing with Alicia's case. They just grabbing here, grabbing there, grabbing here, grabbing there, and they gonna put it all together and make it something solid, and they gonna try to convict her. Now, we gotta understand something, y'all. Like I said before, these people traveled all the way from Jacksonville, Florida to Tampa together. Just in different cars, but together. You see, and the cold-blooded part about all that is that they got this stuff on camera. They got footage of it. I'm talking about they got recordings of it. Check it out.
Now, the second car, the one that I pointed out to you, the surveillance vehicle. This is a Chevy Cruze. This car is also picked up on license plate readers after law enforcement determined its involvement in this case. They go back and they find it. And if you can see in the lower left-hand corner, 7:46 p.m., June 22nd, it's on Bruce B. Downs at Tampa Palms, getting real close to where their Airbnb is. And by the way, the Airbnb they book is 1.3 miles from the murder scene. You will see in the evidence that the LPR, the license plate recognition systems that are picking up these two vehicles, show them traveling in unison, hitting on the same license plate readers at the same time, at the same locations as they travel from Jacksonville. Now, this is the LPRs for that car, the Chevy Cruze. You can see it hitting where it hits Dolphin Drive. That's the day before in Jacksonville. On the 22nd at 6:01, Highway 441. At 18:09, Highway 326, it's traveling through Gainesville. And then at 1947, 7:47 p.m., Bruce B. Downs, Tampa Palms Road, and then at 0342 Hillsborough. And then we get into the surveillance and the time before the murder. The ones at the bottom are the return. That's when they're returning to Jacksonville. This is showing you in these license plate readers the Cruze on the top and the Impala on the bottom, hitting simultaneously on the same dates, 1809, 1947, 1945, 0341, 0342, at the same exact locations. These cars are traveling in unison because they are part of a team.
Now, once they make it to Tampa, they go to the Airbnb. But the cold-blooded part about everything is that, you know, when prosecution first see the video footage of them going into the Airbnb, it's only Alicia. It's not nobody else. They don't see them actually arrive and go inside of the Airbnb. They only see her. But prosecution is proclaiming that when the door opened, they heard somebody say, "Oh, my bad." So that led them to believe that somebody was already in the house. And so they started doing homework. They started looking at all of their phones. They started looking at the killer's phones, her boyfriend Gutter Zay's phone, and all of their phones is binging off of the phone tower in that area by the house or inside of the house. So they trying to think like, how did they get in the house? We didn't see we didn't see them go past the ring camera. Then they start doing homework and come to find out that they can avoid the ring camera by going through the back door. Yeah, by going through the back door. And you know, the cold-blooded part about all that and the way that they proving that is that once the murder was over, they all start coming out the front door, walking back and forward and all this old type of stuff because the job is done now. They done got sloppy. You see what I'm saying? And being that they done got that sloppy, they thinking in their mind that we just got away with cold-blooded murder. But little did they know that, look, no you didn't. They own y'all. And they finna use everything that they got to prove that y'all committed this murder. And so when they started leaving the house and started being on the ring, police is like, wait a minute, where they come from? We never seen them go inside the house. But all of a sudden we seeing all these guys come out the house. You see, so they had to get in through the back to avoid the ring camera. But once they committed the murder, they said, forget it. We ain't got to hide no more. We done killed them. Everything is good. You see what I'm saying?
This is the Airbnb that they stayed at on the night of the 22nd, going into the morning of the 23rd. They didn't stay at a hotel that has a lobby with security cameras. They stayed at an Airbnb with one single ring camera. Now, that's the front door on the right, or on the left, excuse me. You can see the ring camera. You also can see that that lock has, like most Airbnbs, has a combination lock on it. That's the defendant when they arrive, and that day she's the only one seen going through that door. You're going to hear in the evidence when she walks in, this is from a video, someone inside saying, "My bad." So they're already inside, but she's the only one that goes through the door that day. The other ones, the evidence will show, this is back the back side of that same building, and down the back, and there's the back door. Must have entered, the evidence will show, through that entrance.
And another thing, right? They tried to conceal their communication. They tried to conceal their back and forward messaging back and forward to each other by using some type of app that's supposed to conceal the identity of the phone. It didn't work. It did not work. The police got them phones and bust through all that. I'm talking about, so look, it's over with. All that trying to be slick and commit murders using your phones and trying to drive all the way over here to commit a murder, trying to, do stuff that you trying to conceal. No, it's not. We got new technology now. They locking people up. And so by them thinking that they was, concealing their messaging, no, all the messages was exposed. And that's how they just started connecting everything. Now, one of her defenses is this right here. Her boy, well, you know what? I can't even say it's a defense because the prosecutor, not the prosecutor, but the judge told him, like, no, you can't use that. You can't say that you were scared for your life and you had to give your boyfriend the phone and all that old type of stuff. Not with the evidence that they got, because the prosecuting attorney is showing her, putting the code in her phone and giving it to her boyfriend. Come on. So they are saying this right here. This is what the prosecution is saying. Being that she used her phone to help facilitate this murder, that's conspiracy. Being that she tried to hide the text messaging communication, that's conspiracy. And not only that though, they got footage of this stuff. Check it out.
Now, you're going to find in this evidence that they were not utilizing the calling function of that iPhone or even its Apple text message app, the two ways that most people communicate. They're using some kind of a special application to be able to communicate that's undetected. But at some point, they have to break radio silence because the person they're communicating with, Sean Gathright, is not answering. He's not picking up his phone, so they actually send a text through the Apple text message app. Pick up your phone. And she provided, obviously, a second set of eyes to watch. Both of them surveilling and watching Mr. Jones and his entourage. And then, as I just mentioned a minute ago, she provided the comms, the communication, her phone. Now, you're going to see in the evidence, Mr. Chance's phone is tracking all the way to Tampa from Jacksonville. And it's tracking at that Airbnb. It's hitting off a nearby tower, but it's her phone they're utilizing, you will find in the evidence. you're going to see him hand her phone to her and her put her code into the phone to open it so they could utilize it to convey what they were watching and seeing. And again, they're out in the parking lot. She was there with them in the field, shoulder to shoulder, in the thick of it. So they're wearing these masks, and it's not just like some costume mask. Obviously, a COVID mask is not going to necessarily draw that much attention, but it is going to hide their identities. Mr. Chance has a hoodie up on his head, along with the COVID mask. They are clearly trying to disguise themselves.
COVID-19 mask. And you got to think to yourself, if you're on vacation with your boyfriend, what y'all got on masks for? I'm talking about, this is 2020, 2024, 2023. That stuff right there is over with. I'm talking about people running around freely now. But her and her boyfriend, out of everybody, got on masks, and they didn't go inside the club. You see? Now, I can see you put a mask on and you scared because you know you don't know what's out there, and you like, man, there's too many people in here. I'm trying to protect myself. They don't go inside the club. They outside in the parking lot giving out information to the killers. You see what I'm saying? That's what they was doing. Check it out.
You see the defendant opening the phone for Mr. Chance, and you can see their COVID masks. One is wearing the blue COVID mask that was so prevalent in 2020, 2021, and she's wearing a black one.
You see, you trying to hide your identity with the text message app. You trying to hide your physical identity, knowing that you getting outside this car so that you can get on the phone and give coordinates to the killers. And guess what? The killers pull up at the same place. Now, this is what the prosecution is trying to prove. That she aided and assisted the murder of Julio Foolio. That she coordinated to the killers where Julio Foolio was. She didn't do it. She used her phone to do it, and she used her boyfriend to do it. Cold-blooded demonstration. All this right here is them breadcrumbs. Yeah, it's them breadcrumbs that the prosecution is putting together and saying, nah, you and your boyfriend, yeah, y'all conspired. Y'all helped the killers get this boy killed. Because if it wasn't for Alicia and her boyfriend, the killers wouldn't have never known where Julio Foolio was at. So it took Alicia and her boyfriend, the phone, the cars, to help kill Julio Foolio. And that's what they're trying to prove. And that right there is the conspiracy. But it gets better though, because we got to understand something. Even though the killers pulled up right then and there, they wanted to kill Julio Foolio right then and there, but guess what happened? Julio Foolio was leaving as the killers was pulling up. Check it out.
This is Mr. Jones and his friends arriving at that club. And you can see the time there, 2:22 in the morning. That, again, is several minutes off, but it's about that time. 2:21, and there they are, and you see Mr. Chance on the phone in the parking lot at the same place. Now later, after Mr. Jones has gone into the club and been in there and done his thing in there with his friends, he's now leaving. You can see Mr. Edwards' head up there. It's 2:46 or about that time. 2:46. 59, almost 2:47. And what happens at 2:47? This car up here in the upper right, that's on that road, which is Nebraska, is pulling in to the north end of the parking lot of Teasers. This was an extremely well-orchestrated conspiracy, coordinated. He's walking out of the club on the other side of the club, and out of the blue, the assault team vehicle is pulling into the club. That is tight surveillance and intel. Now, in this photograph, that's 248. This is Mr. Jones' Charger. You can see the lights starting to light up because they're already inside the car and they're getting ready to leave. That's the Impala that has come in on the north side, gone down the west side, and is now passing in the front.
You see what I'm saying? Julio was leaving as they was pulling up. But then we got to understand something. These boys, I'm talking about, and Alicia and her boyfriend, according to reports, they was determined. They was determined to kill Julio Foolio. So they stalked him again. When he left that club, they stalked him and followed him all the way to another club. Yeah, they for real. And as the spotters or the stalkers, who was Alicia and her boyfriend, as they followed him once again, they get out the car again. On the phone, giving coordinates. Hey, look, we over here right now. Hey, look, check it out. Woo, woo, woo. And guess who pop up just mysteriously? The killers. Check it out.
Now, from there, when Mr. Jones leaves with his friends in the 3 cars, they travel to another club, an after party. This is Truth 18 on Bush. The Dodge Charger, the Hyundai, and you'll see the Altima come up. And you'll see Mr. Jones will start live streaming with his phone. Again, advertising his location. You can see the Chevy Cruze up in the top part of the screen. And now, in the top of the screen, the hooded individual, the defendant, and Mr. Chance conducting more surveillance. Walking as a couple, so they're not threatening, they don't stand out. With her phone to his ear. And now they walk back again past the club. Mr. Jones and his friends leaving. The Impala on the top of the screen. This is that's across the street. You'll find in the evidence that the victim and his entourage go down the parking lot, they do a U-turn, they come back out, they end up heading east and then doing a U-turn and going back west. The Impala just crossed the street. Now it's back up at that stop sign in the upper right-hand corner. And you'll see it'll just sit there for a while. Mr. Jones and his friends coming down the stairs.
You see what I'm saying? So when they pull up this time, they was ready to kill him then. But they couldn't get in position because of the way that the club was and the way that the parking lot was, that they couldn't just run up on Julio Foolio like that. But not only that, because he had an entourage with him. You see, they didn't want to get into no shootout. They wanted to kill and get up out of there and head back to Jacksonville, Florida. That's what they wanted to do. So as you see the car sitting there and how the car go in and come out, they trying to figure it out like, dang, how can we get at him? How can we do it? But not only that, by the time they pull up, Julio Foolio is on his way out again. He left. And so now Alicia and Gutter Zay, her boyfriend, they got to do some more stalking again. So in this next video, you're going to see Julio Foolio car busting you to make it to the hotel where he was killed at. And then the next thing you know, you're going to see Alicia and Gutter Zay car pull up, right? But it's not going to bust you, right? But what I want you to pay close attention to in this video is that all you're going to see is Julio Foolio and his entourage busting you and make it to the hotel. Then a few seconds later, or you know, not too long later, you're going to see one car pull up to the same stoplight, and that's going to be Alicia and Gutter Zay in that car, right? Now, that car right there is going to turn right, I believe. And after it turns right, mysteriously, out of nowhere, the killer cars just pop up. And the killer car busts you, going the same way that Julio Foolio went. So who would have that type of information to give to the killers, other than the people that are stalking Julio Foolio? And so that's how the prosecution is putting this thing together and saying that it was a conspiracy. Check it out.
This is the intersection of McKinley and Fowler. This is the Home to Suites and Holiday Inn complex in the upper right-hand corner. Directly across the street is USF. There's an Embassy Suites there. That is Mr. Jones' car doing a U-turn and going back on McKinley, and you'll see it turn into the hotel complex, followed by the Hyundai and the Altima. And as you can see, there is no car visible except for those oncoming lights now coming up the northbound side. That is the Chevy Cruze. It goes eastbound. No other car on McKinley can be seen. It's not even in sight. The Chevy Cruze ends up going eastbound, then comes back westbound, turns northbound, there it is, into that parking lot. And now several minutes later comes the Impala, which, this is the assault team, does a U-turn, you will see, goes southbound on McKinley following the path of Mr. Jones and his entourage and pulls directly into that hotel. That car wasn't anywhere to be seen when Mr. Jones and his entourage were going in there. But the Chevy Cruze was there with this defendant and Mr. Chance providing critical intelligence to them with this defendant's phone. Once it pulls in, you'll start seeing cameras from different locations within the complex mounted on the Home to Suites surveillance system that'll pick up the Impala's path as it travels. So the Chevy Cruze, at one point after the Impala goes in, blows through a red light on Fowler to get over there and turn in to the hotel. By that point, the Impala is all the way around on the west side, you will find in the evidence of the hotel, and setting up for the attack. But now the cruise has to come, the evidence will show, to drive by and confirm where is Mr. Jones. This is a camera mounted on the east side of the home to suites, pointing to the southeast, and it is picking up the Impala now, pulling into the complex and going northbound on the east side of the hotel. This is going to go to a camera facing north-northeast, showing it passing, still going northbound. And then it turns back to the west. This is a camera that's mounted on the north side of the home to suites that picks up the Impala as it passes and turns towards the west. And now the Impala is on the west side of the hotel. There's this pool and this patio area here that's on the west side of the hotel. Going around this way would be the portico. This is the west side of the hotel. The charging stations are right here. And you can see the Impala comes and stops. It does not go around that southern end of the home to suites. It's avoiding the southern end at this point. And here comes the Chevy Cruze passing directly past in the car that's not known by anyone, the victim. Goes to the north where the Impala is. Goes right past the Impala. Does a 3-point U-turn and comes back. This is another camera picking up the Impala and the Cruze. That's on the Tesla, part of its security system. You'll see the Cruze kind of do a little turn there, back up, and come back to the south. I don't know if you saw that or not. The Cruze is turning around, but the Impala is pulling into a spot over here at the same time as it passes back by.
Objection, Your Honor. This is cumulative.
Overruled. This is opening statement. Go ahead.
So now the Cruze is coming back, doing one last pass, and now we're within seconds of the attack, the murder itself. You can see individuals at the top of the screen moving. You're going to see them run by the front of the Tesla, getting into position. There's the third shooter, Davion Murphy. And now they come around the pistol shooter, Rashad Murphy, and the shooter on the top of the screen right there is Sean Gathright. You see the collision between the Altima and the Hyundai as they're trying to get out of there. You see Mr. Murphy come out of hiding and Mr. Gathright opening fire. You'll see Mr. Gathright and Mr. Murphy running back to the north. And you saw this, there's the muzzle flashes of Mr. Davion Murphy's rifle. And you saw the Charger going to the north. That's the Charger picked up by the Tesla cameras heading north. There goes Mr. Rashad Murphy, there goes Gathright, and there's Davion Murphy. And you can kind of see the blocky image of the brass catcher on the side of that rifle. Another view from the Tesla of Davion Murphy running back to the Impala. This attack was relentless, as you saw. They weren't going to stop. They were going to make sure that they killed Mr. Jones, that he was not going to live, that they were not going to go back to Jacksonville without him dying.
You see what I'm saying? Like, how would the black car with the killers in it know exactly where to go? How would they know to bust you and go directly to where Julio Foolio was at if it wasn't for Gutter Zay and Alicia? Because when they drove past the hotel, they had to look to the left and say, oh, okay, they at the hotel. Okay, they at the hotel. And they had to call the killers and say, hey, check this out. They at the hotel. They at the hotel. And that's how they was able to come through and bust you and go right over there and get in position and kill Julio Foolio. Now, the cold-blooded part about this whole demonstration is this right here. They exposed Alicia's text messages. And in these text messages, she is explaining that she understand about Julio Foolio and she understand about the gang that he's at war with, and that she doesn't like Julio Foolio. She even said something to the point as to she wish he would die. You see how they getting all the small little pieces and putting it together, you know, to make it something solid. Even though, right, she said that back in what, 2023 or 21 or something they said. But she wishing that this man right here would die. And so it would only make sense that, oh, okay, then you wanted him to die back then, and now you got an opportunity to have somebody kill him or to play a role in his murder. You wouldn't let that go by because you already expressed to yourself that you wanted this man to die. Check it out.
Judge, what she texts is, she says, girl, I don't like Julio. LMAFAOOO, ugly ass bitch, he need to die. And SHID, that was, oh, my friend, FUCK, that code shit, bitch, he shot me and my friend died, question mark, question mark, question mark. Specifically told you that she was aware that he was in a gang, is that correct?
She was aware that he was tied in or affiliated within a gang, yes.
And then the defendant then texts back to you, and this is January 21st of 2021, 8:39 a.m. Girl, I don't like Foolio, LMFAOOO, ugly ass. He need to die. And SHID, that was Will Friend, and then FUCK, that code, and SHIT, bitch, he shot me and my friend died, question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, pointing out who did it. What's she saying there? What's she talking about?
Well, she's referring to somebody that had just died that we know.
In this gang war?
Yeah, we're basically just gossiping.
Okay. I understand that, but who was it in this gang war that she personally knows?
Personally?
Yes, you're saying that you're talking about a friend that just died.
Will, that was the only person that we both know.
Will at Rains High School, is that, or who else?
That's it.
Okay. And
Come on. I mean, how can you fight that? I mean, you on text messages saying you wish this man would die, and then now they're accusing you of playing a role in his death. That don't look right. Regardless of what we might think and all that old type of stuff, just the whole thing, it don't look right. And being that you was around, I'm talking about you and your boyfriend, talking about y'all was on vacation, but all y'all did was follow this man around until he was dead. And after he died, after he was killed, y'all went to the Airbnb and then left.
Mr. Chance having maybe a celebratory drink. This is the next day around 2:30. 3, you can see he has to keep knocking. The person getting in that silver car is an Uber driver who they have called. That is how they returned to Jacksonville. The defendant, Mr. Chance, and Mr. Murphy this time returned to Jacksonville. Now they're unloading, bringing out all of their kit and their gear, their weapons. There's Mr. Davion Murphy. Now they're getting sloppy because it's the next day and all of the conspirators are visible. There's Mr. Murphy trying to go back in. Mr. Gathright walking out with gear. They don't they don't leave the way they came. They flee from this murder separately and in a different format. That's Mr. Gathright. He leaves independent of the others in the Impala.
Objection, Your Honor. Counsel is narrating the evidence, stuff that's not even been introduced, Your Honor.
Well, because it's opening statement. He's just telling the jury what he believes the evidence will show. So I'm going to overrule the objection.
You can see Mr. Gathright goes over to the side, to the back, and that's how they got in the day before. The evidence will show Mr. Gathright, Sean Gathright, whose house they all started at with the Impala. He leaves, but he doesn't go back to Jacksonville. Mr. Gathright drives across I-4 to Polk County, to Auburndale, to his grandmother's house, where he switches cars. He leaves his Impala at his grandmother's house, and he takes her Toyota 4Runner. And he drives that to Orlando, where he goes out that night to a club, and he posts a photograph of him drinking Don Julio tequila, which is a diss to Charles Jones. Charles Jones, Julio Foolio, was known in all of his social media to drink Don Julio. That's where the name came from. He was notorious for that. This Mr. Gathright drives over, switches cars, goes to Orlando, then he ends up in Jacksonville.
Y'all ain't go to no shows. Y'all ain't went to go see the Tampa Bay Zoo. Y'all ain't go to Busch Garden. Y'all ain't take a boat ride. Y'all ain't go shopping. Y'all ain't did nothing. After his death, y'all packed up and went back to Jacksonville. It don't look right. That's all I'm gonna say. It don't look right. It don't look like a vacation to me. And with y'all following that man like that, and then when he died, y'all stopped following and stopped going places. Y'all just go right back to Jacksonville. It don't look right. And the cold-blooded part about all that is this right here. Here it is, a young woman, young. It appears that she done threw her life away, trying to be a part of a life that she ain't got no business being a part of. Surrounding herself around some people that she shouldn't even surrounded herself around. You see, she shouldn't have been around them. And now she is stuck in a position to play hard. And I'm talking about believing in her little frail mind that I'm going to trick these people and I'm going to tell them that we was on a vacation. They can't say I had nothing to do with that because I didn't shoot Julio Foolio. I didn't do anything wrong to Julio Foolio. All they can prove is that I was riding in the car. No. You must don't understand conspiracy, Alicia. You can't. And I'm talking about young ladies that's watching it. Pay attention. This could easily be anybody. Young ladies, young men. This could easily be anybody because that conspiracy to commit murder is so vague. You can fall into that conspiracy and don't even know that you done fell into it. That's why the best thing to do to avoid conspiracy to do any damn thing is to stay law and abiding. Period. When somebody come to you with their problems and stuff like that, man, they just did this, I need a gun. Nah, I'm cool, bro. Man, give me a ride over here real quick, man. Just drop me off. Nah, I'm cool, bro. I'm straight. Take me over here. This bitch got me fucked up. I'm finna do this, that, and the other. Nah, sister. I'm cool. Stay away from it. Avoid it. Don't allow somebody else's problem to be your problem. And I know that's hard for us to do, being that we got homeboys that we love and that we got family members and stuff like that. You understand? I know that's hard to do. But at some point, we got to be selfish. Yeah. Sometimes it's good to be selfish. Sometimes it's good for you to look out for your best instead of catering to somebody else and what they got going on. I remember a while ago when I was out of my mind, right? And this when I was in the penitentiary. I wanted to do something. Some guys had made me mad and upset, and I felt disrespected. And I wanted to put that iron on them. right? I'm ready. I got the iron. I got the what we used to use. I got the white pages, the no phone books or magazines. Yeah, that's armor in the joint. I got all that to protect my vital organs front and back. I'm suited. I'm ready to go. And I go get my partner. I say, man, look, this is what time it is. I'm suited. Boot up. Let's go. And he told me, he said, brother, look, I'm trying to go home. I'm not with that. And you know I'm not with that. I'm trying to change my life. Shocked me. Because I know him for going. Ain't no questions. I'm talking about what we fighting, stabbing, shooting, we spitting, we scratching. What we doing? Racing, pissing, whatever. Come on, I'm with it. That's what I knew him for. But he said, man, Lord, I'm trying to go to the crib. Now listen, I'll go with you. But if I go with you, I want you to understand, man, that I'm putting my life on the line for you. I'm putting my freedom on the line for you. I want to get back out there and be with my kids. And when he said that to me, it just kind of like threw me off. Like it almost like it opened me up. Like my brain just was like, I wasn't thinking that far. I'm disrespected. My ego hurt. My pride hurt. I'm ready to go kill something. You see? Or try to kill something. You see what I'm saying? But when he said all that, it just opened me up and I was like, damn. I want to go kill something because my feelings hurt. My ego hurt. I'm finna put myself in danger of doing more time and possibly being killed or stabbed later on down the line while I'm doing time. And I can bring him with me. So when he told me, look, I'ma go, but understand what you're doing to me. That allowed me just to, calm down and realize. I seen the big picture and I was like, damn. I don't want to do this to this brother because I love him. Yeah, I want him to go to, ride out with me, but I don't want to put him in a position where he ain't finna go home sooner. You understand? And so that's how we got to start looking at it. And when I'm saying it, I'm talking about to you people that get involved in stuff like that and you want to run and go get somebody. That's how you got to start looking at it. Now, if you want to get in trouble, you want to do what you want to do, that's on you. That's your decision. But don't bring nobody else into your bullshit. You see? Don't bring nobody else into your madness. Because when you do that, you destroying somebody else's life. You destroying your life and somebody else's life. It's 3 lives. 4, 5 lives is about to be destroyed because of you. That ain't fair. And once I learned that day, I started to demonstrate that too. When brothers would run up on me with some madness and I'd be like, look, brother, I'm trying to get to the crib, brother. I love you. You my Lord, brother, and all that, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to go that far with it. Now, if you want to knuckle up, y'all want to go from the shoulders, come on, we can do that. I get on your security for something like that. You know what I'm saying? But when you talking about this knife play, you talking about gun play, nah, we talking about murder, attempted murders and stuff. Can't be a part of that. I'll go thump with you, though. Because you can live from that. And it's a fair and square fight. It's one-on-one. Ain't no jumping and none of that type of stuff. It's from the shoulders. Now, this in the penitentiary. You see what I'm saying? So, it's cool like that. But, when it come to this here, no, we can kill something doing that. I ain't trying to go back in nobody's courtroom and be faced with some other stuff. Nah, I'm trying to get to the crib, bro. You see? And so that's how we got to start looking at it. And don't feel bad because, man, this is my brother, man. This is my cousin, man. This is my family member, man. No, don't feel bad because don't allow that to happen to you. Explain it to him in the way that I just explained it to you. Hey, listen, check this out. Look, I love you, but I don't love you enough to sacrifice my life for you. You see, I got a wife, I got a woman, I got kids, I got a husband, I got kids, I got a mama, I got a grandmama, got cousins, and I got my freedom. I want to keep that. I don't want to go put my life on the line because of something that you get into. No, don't bring that to me. No, I can't go for that. And that's what we got to start doing. We got to stop allowing our family connections and our friend connections to cause us to sacrifice the most precious thing that we get. And that's time. Because one thing we got to understand, everything else we can get back. You can buy a car, crash it, go get you another one. But this time, once the time is gone, it's over with. You can't rewind that. No, you only get older. You don't get younger. You see? You don't get younger. You keep going up. You don't go down. So we got to look at it like that. And we got to express it like that. So that our loved ones will know, or our friends will know, look, I love you, but I don't love you that much. No, I'm not finna sacrifice my time. This is Hood Educated, not Lame Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Now, before I depart, allow me to give a shout out to some of the blessings that I received this week. Swole Dad for the $4.99 super thanks. Thank you. Ellen 8131 for the $10 super thanks. Thank you. Lunya Crockett for the $9.99 super thanks. Thank you. Seek High for the $9.99 super thanks. Thank you. Chuck Elwood for the $4.99 super thanks. Thank you. Earl Taylor for the $5 super thanks. Thank you. Naisha McLilly for the $5 super thanks. Thank you. Where you been, sister? I ain't seen you in a while. How you doing? Antoinette Williams for the $10 Venmo. Thank you. Tracy Frazier for the $10 Zelle. Thank you. Ricky Pringle for the $11 Zelle. Thank you. Charlene McGregor for the $10 Cash App. Thank you. G Real Nice Dean for the $2 Cash App. Thank you. Betty Lewis for the $30 Cash App. Thank you. Omega for the $20 Cash App. Thank you. This is Hood Educated, not Lame Related. Peace and love. And y'all take care of yourself out there.